Hello, and welcome to Allie in Sweatpants. My name is Allie, and I am wearing sweatpants. I'm going to address this now because it's bothering me, but forgive the background. We have a rug here, we have the previous owners. This is the realities of renovating an old home. So we work with what we have, but I am back here to do a normal podcast episode today. So yes, I have a lot to talk about. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy. We have a really, really wonderful group of people here that I'm so grateful for. And if you are one of those group of people who are returning today, welcome back. I always love to see you guys and hear from you. So I think we should just get into it. I have so many finished objects that I know that I'm forgetting some, but I had to do this in a manageable way for myself. So here we are. The first finished object is actually what I'm wearing. This is the VERSAL sweater by ALBIONA McLaughlin. I was watching old Woolly Mammoth podcast episodes, and she knows her in real life. And I had been calling her Albiona McLaughlin, but Emma was pronouncing it Albina. So ALBIONA McLaughlin. It's a beautiful, like, let me see, kind of modified saddle shoulder sweater. It had so many different options. It had like 3 neckline options. It had, I think, 3 body shape options. It had different lengths. It had 2 different sleeve variations. And I realized when I bought the pattern that it comes with like a female version and a male version. So you really get 2 patterns with like a huge size range in both patterns. So I highly recommend. But I went for like the mock neck, and I never wear it up because I don't think that things right up to my chin suit me. So I fold it down, but if it was ever really cold, I would have that option. And then I went for no decreases in the sleeve because I found that it was already at a width that I really liked. So yeah, I really like it. I have been wearing it a lot. I blocked it semi-aggressively when it was like 98% dry. I just stretched it over the back of kind of a big chair that I have, and that helped because since the ribbing comes up so high, it obviously has a tendency to scrunch in, and that is not very flattering on me. So I like it to just sit, you know, all at the same width. I believe I knit the 3rd size. I used Lion Brand Touch of Linen in the Dijon colorway, I'm pretty sure. It's on camera, it looks a bit lighter than in real life. It's a bit more of like a true mustard color in real life. And this is like a 50-50 cotton linen blend, and I love it. I have like a sweater's quantity in almost every color that it comes in, but we won't talk about that. So yes, this is my first finished object. I really love it. I highly recommend the pattern. Yeah, on to the next, shall we? I will start with what I have the most of, which is socks. It's just been a while. It's just been a while since I've podcasted, so I have a lot of socks. I decided to knit myself some shorties because I knit a few pairs for my boyfriend last year, but I don't have any for myself, so I knit this pair, which is with the new GREGORIA cotton sock line. It's like their spring florals or something. I have like a huge sliding glass door right here, and no direct sunlight is coming in, but I think it's kind of blowing out the colors a little bit because this is like more of a, well, that's not helping at all. This is a little bit deeper of a reddish orange in real life. It's looking pretty light on my screen. I knit these on 2.5 millimeter needles with 56 stitches, and I just did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, which is kind of my new thing. I was a German short row heel girl, but this just fits so well. So I knit that pair of shorties, and then I knit one more pair of shorties with leftovers that I had. Here it is. This is also GREGORIA cotton sock in the Tutti Frutti range, and this is the pomegranate colorway. I made my mom a full pair of socks with this, and so I used the leftovers. Again, all the socks, unless I state otherwise, are on 2.5 millimeter needles with 56 stitches for myself. So, and then I did the same slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and this one I actually ran out of yarn at the toe, so this is just a little bit of Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop sock in like a purple colorway that I also had already broken into. So a couple of pairs of shorties for myself for the summer. I have not worn them yet because I wanted them to look nice for the episode, so I'm not sure how they will. I hope they don't slip down. There's nothing worse than your sock just slowly slipping down under your heel. But I'm pretty sure I knit before the heel like 2.5 centimeters. So, and I think that's what I did for my boyfriend last year, so I'm hopeful. Next, I have what I'm calling my Barbie socks. This is Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop sock. It's one of their newer colors. I can't remember the name because I didn't save any of the labels because I'm a bad podcaster, but there you go. Slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. They don't match because I don't care about that. I just, wherever one ends, I start the next one. And I want to say I made the leg a little bit longer than I typically do on these, but I can't remember if I did or not. I keep telling myself to do that because sometimes when it's cold, my sweatpants will creep up just like, then there's that much of like leg exposed between my sock and my sweatpant. Or I have a couple pairs of yoga pants that are like, you know, not at the ankle, but not a capri length. And when I wear them and I go to yoga, I always wear like socks and slides, Birkenstock things. So again, it just doesn't look great when you have a high sock, a little bit of skin, and then yoga pants. I digress. Next is a very special pair of socks because it's with some of my Legacy Fiber Arts stash that I have been gifted, and these I'll probably enter in their Knit Your Legacy stash along that they're doing over the summer. But here is one, here is the other. This was with the Coraline Jones sock set. Very, very pretty. Again, the color isn't coming out. Well, that's actually okay. That's not too bad. So, again, for me, I realized when I got them all together that I have knit myself a lot of socks, which is kind of okay because I have socks. I probably have like 8 or 9 pairs of socks that I've made myself. But like I wear them every day, so it's not like I can have too many. The next is also Legacy Fiber Arts in the Sea Creatures colorway, which I am fatal for this colorway. Oh, I should say this is their Steel Toes base, which is like the merino nylon blend. And then this is their Cozy Toes base, which is their merino cashmere nylon blend. I am just such a sucker for pink and blue that like meld in to make purple, where you can still see all 3 colors individually. I just love it. So again, probably going to enter these into their little knit along that's going on. I do have some Legacy Fiber Arts stash because I've mentioned before that I don't really purchase wool for just various different reasons. I really love plant fibers, but I love Sue and Chelsea from the Legacy Fiber Arts team. My mom and I really have bonded over their podcast together, and I have rewatched all of their episodes multiple times. It's like the Gilmore Girls for me. It's just so feel-good content. And so when a birthday or Christmas comes around, I sometimes ask for it for a gift. And it's very, very special to me. So my next pair of socks, I knit with Knit Picks Comfy, I think it's called, and this is the Sport Weight in Fiesta Red. So for this one, I did a heel flap and gusset, but I didn't do slip stitches. I knit this on, I think maybe 3.25 millimeter needles, and I did 48 stitches. These are pretty tight, I will say. So if I were gonna do it again, I would probably do a few more stitches for myself, but they're very thick, which will be nice when it gets cold again, because summer has definitely hit here in Southern California. We had probably a month and a half, if not 2 months, of clouds every day, morning to night, which is usual but unusual. You know, we talk about May gray and June gloom, but this was like unrelenting. Usually it's not unrelenting. And we even got like a couple nights of rain, which is super unusual. So the sun is finally out, and with the sun came the heat immediately. So I'm pretty toasty right now in my socks, sweats, and sweater, but next, I have some socks that I'm knitting for my cousin because she dropped a huge bomb on me that she is moving away from Southern California, and she's moving to a colder part of the United States. So as like a little moving gift, I am making her 3 pairs of socks to take with her. And one of them will be matching with me, but I'll show you that in a second. So this is the first pair. This is with Barocco Comfy Sock. I don't remember the colorway, but... And because this is a completely synthetic fiber, it doesn't have the same kind of stretch that wool or cotton and elastic would have. So instead of 56 stitches, I cast on 60. So if I typically do 60 stitches for someone, I'll cast on 64. If I typically do 56, I'll cast on 60. So just 4 stitches extra than I typically would for their size, and it's worked out very well. So I just did a 2x2 rib, slip stitch heel. I made it the same size that I would for myself because her and I are a very similar height and shoe size. So here's these. her first pair of love socks. Next, these will be the matching ones. This is, again, with some Legacy Fiber Arts stash in the glass ceiling colorway, and this is their merino, the steel toes, the merino nylon blend. Come on. It's very, very beautiful. It was super fun to knit. So slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And I'm working on making myself the matching pair, which I think will be special, and I think that she will appreciate that sentiment. And then I have some half-finished socks, but we will continue through the finished objects instead. Here's one finished object I finished a little while ago, and I was knitting this with Martina from We Grow Wild. And it is the Totally Tank Top by Jessie May Design. That's getting like so blown out. I should have like washed it so it wasn't so, there we go. So I just followed the directions, and instead of doing the neckline and the arms called for like rolled stockinette, but when I did that, it didn't look great. So here's the yarn. So it's a really cool construction that I had never done before. I'd never done like a racerback construction, and I knit the second size, I think, and I used the Trailhead Yarns Appalachian Trail, maybe? Is my battery about to die? I swear. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the frame isn't too different. I was talking about, where did I put it? The Totally Tank by Jessie May. I think the colorway for the Trailhead yarns was called Love. It was a very fun design. I think I want to try to make it in like a cotton elastic sock yarn to see if I can wear it as a yoga top, because right now I would definitely want something under, and I would love to see if I could make this where I don't need anything under, because it's very, very flattering. So that's that. Next finished object I actually have 4 of, but I can't find one, and one is still sweaty from me wearing it to yoga, so I decided not to show that, but it is the Ripple Bralettes by Jessie May. Here's one. These are in the Cascade Fixations yarn. So here's one, and here's another. And then I've knit another one out of a very bright red, and then another one out of a beautiful, like, dusty forest green yarn that my mother-in-law gifted to me for Easter from Five Wise Owls, the yarn shop. I have a picture of all of the yarns that she gifted me, which will be in my acquisitions section, so you will be able to see the colorway, but I'll try to remember next podcast to show you the final product. So I'm pretty sure I knit the 2nd or 3rd size in this, and I knit the body a little bit longer than recommended in the pattern usually, and they're great. I have been doing yoga like twice a week roughly, and these are the only tops I've been wearing. I haven't been wearing my, you know, like store-bought sports bras or bralettes, so that feels pretty good, I have to say, and they've been working perfectly for me. I will say that the Cascade Fixations, because it's a bit of a thicker yarn, you know, holds everything together a bit more than my thinner sock yarns, but I wear all of them equally. So I would have 4 of these to show, but 2 to show for today. Okay. My next finished object is a super duper cute one. It's just a tiny sweater. It's just a tiny sweater. So I am knitting this for my dear friend. She has 2 babies, and I'm knitting them matching ones for Christmas. I had this yarn, which is the Wool and the Gang cotton in the Malibu Speckle colorway. It's just a white with these coral pink speckles. And I didn't really know what to do with it. It wasn't really something that I wanted for a garment for myself. So I really was waiting for like little girl patterns to use this. And so I decided to make the Novice sweater for the girly goos. I had actually made her eldest daughter one of these before in an acrylic yarn. And so it's super soft. It's a round yoke construction, great pattern, comes in a big size range for kids. And the youngest, I am knitting the 1 to 2 year old size, and then the eldest, I'm knitting the 3 to 4 year old size, I'm pretty sure. So very cute, very fast, very soft, and I just love knitting little kid patterns so much. They're so satisfying and they're so cute because they're just little baby versions of what we make for ourselves, and I know that my friend will appreciate these. So that's another finished object. Oh, the other finished objects that I finished the Cumulus tee for my mom, and I also finished her Novice cardigan, which are both patterns by, no, not Novice cardigan, No Frills cardigan. Those are both patterns by PETITEKNIT. I think I knit the 3rd size in both of those patterns. For the Cumulus tee, I knitted in VeganYarn.com's fingering base in the Soot Sprites colorway, which is a really beautiful tonal black. And then I knit the No Frills cardigan in Premier Yarns Bamboo Cotton Blend. And I'm pretty sure the colorway was called Twilight. It was a really beautiful plum purple. So yes, I finished both of those for her. They fit really nicely. We do have to fix the t-shirt a little bit. The V-neck is a little bit too deep for her liking, so we're gonna try to do some things to bring a bit more coverage. But yes, I'm very happy to have those done for her. Her and my dad actually went to Ireland for a couple weeks recently, and she was wearing them in a lot of the pictures, so that made me feel pretty good. As was my dad. He was wearing his sweater that I knit for him in a lot of the pictures too, which warms my heart. So those are 2 big finished objects that I don't have with me, but as always, there will be photos. So that's very exciting to me. So now we will move into half finished objects. And the first one, surprise, surprise, is a sock. I just love sock knitting. I really do. It's satisfying. It's relatively quick. It's just so good. So this is my matching sock to my cousin's. 56 stitches, 2.5mm needles, slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. Again, it's the Legacy Fiber Arts steel toes in the glass ceiling colorway. So I have one done for myself, and I am working on my other one. I'm a little bit worried. So here it is. I'm a little bit worried about my yarn, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be able to get me another full sock, but if it doesn't, I'll just finish the sock in some other color. It doesn't bother me that much. The main priority was getting hers as a complete pair, so. Next is the last pair of socks I will be gifting to my cousin. And I have one done. I'm working on the other. This is the Sunday sock by PETITEKNIT. It's a chunky, ribbed sock. And I like to fold it down because I think it looks really cute and cozy. I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks Comfy in the worsted in the colorway Thicket. It's like a cotton acrylic blend. And then the contrasting heel and toe are Lion brand, I can't remember the name, but it's the 100% recycled polyester yarn. So for her second sock, I'm gonna do the green as the heel and the cream as the toe. And I think that will look really cute. And these are really thick and comfy, and all the socks I'm giving her are gonna be really durable. So it's just a little hard on my hands. I think it was 48 or 50 stitches on 4mm needles. And it's just a little bit hard on my hands, so I've stalled a little bit with the second one, but it is on its way. So pretty sure 4mm needles. So that's a half finished object. Another half-finished object is a pair of socks I'm working on for my boyfriend. And this pattern is completely inspired by Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts. Her morning Instagram videos that she does, she is always talking about the heel-toe do-si-do pattern. And I couldn't resist any longer. Look at how cool this is. Isn't that just so cool how the stitches like angle? So this is his first sock. I actually knit myself a pair of socks in this yarn. It's the Barocco Comfort Sock again. And I had leftovers, so I decided to make him a pair, but I didn't have enough for a full pair, hence the contrasting cuff, heel, and toe, which is also Barocco Comfort Sock, just in one of the solids. So this has been very fun. When I first started the pattern, I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to look at these directions every other row. Oh no. But then I did 4 repeats and completely memorized it. It's very memorizable. I highly recommend the pattern. It's super fun. It's not as mindless, obviously, as a stockinette sock, but it is super, super fun. So half finished, have started the second one. I am doing 2.5mm needles and 64 stitches for these. So they will fit him very nicely. Look at this absolute stress mess that I have going on for the rest of this ball. I'm literally just daintily pulling from it while I can, knowing it's gonna become a yarn barf knot. And at that point, I will give it to my boyfriend because he's very patient and will wind it for me. So that is all for half-finished objects, and now we will just move into works in progress. One of which has stalled for like a few weeks, which is a bummer because I know I would wear it so much, but it's another ripple bralette for yoga. I am knitting it out of Cascade Fixations in, I think, the Fern colorway. Let's see, can I get a good color representation? That's pretty good. I feel like maybe the further back I hold it, the better. It's just a nice kind of yellow grass green colorway. 3.5mm needles, following the pattern except for making the body a bit longer. It's a 3x3 rib pattern. All I have left is a couple more rounds of the back ribbing, and then I split for the front pieces, and then it goes really fast. I just got a little burnt out, which happened last year and stopped again at this point, and it's literally still in a bag somewhere that I don't even want to talk about, but this will be finished by the next episode. I'm putting it out there, so I hold myself accountable. So, another Ripple Bralette by Jessie May. My next work in progress is, oh, the slightly bigger little sweater. Again, this is the Novice sweater by PETITEKNIT, the child's version. I finished the body. This is the 3 to 4 year size. So now all I have left are the sleeves and then it will be done, which is so exciting. It's so hard to wait to give it to them because both of their birthdays are in August, so I just want to give it to them for their birthday, but obviously these will be a lot more useful if they're Christmas gifts. So I'm going to wait. I knit the eldest the Nora skirt by PETITEKNIT, and the youngest I really want to knit a bunny stuffed animal. So these will be their Christmas presents. But again, it is the Wool in the Gang, their Pima Cotton in the Malibu Speckle colorway. And it is very, very, very soft. So that's another work in progress. The next work in progress is a sweater for myself. I have to say, I was working on the November jacket by PETITEKNIT, which is a dream knit of mine. It's an all over brioche like jacket cardigan. And I had completely finished the body and I was on to a sleeve, only to realize I had probably made 2 sizes too small for myself. So I ripped it out. I didn't rip it out. My boyfriend ripped it out. Here it is. So that is something that I had been doing in this time, and we have a trip booked to Europe and England and Ireland in October. And so I really wanted the November jacket for that trip. I don't know now if I still want it as badly for that trip. We'll see. I have a few months, so it's totally possible. But instead, I started a sweater for myself, which I do hope to take to on the trip with me. It is the NELE or NELE sweater by Gregoria Fibers. It is modified. So I did a different neckline than recommended. The whole pattern is in like 3x1 twisted rib, and I didn't want to do twisted rib, so I did 3x1 broken rib, and I love it. And with this sweater, I had an epiphany, okay? I couldn't figure out why all the sweaters I've been knitting have been smaller than I would like, because I've been going off my bust measurement. So before starting this sweater, I was like, took my bust measurement again. It's 9 inches bigger than it's ever been in my entire life. I've always been a certain measurement since, you know, development. But yeah, all of a sudden we are now 9 inches bigger than we've ever been, which makes sense as to why all my sweaters have been smaller than I would have liked, because I have been making them 9 inches too small. So this one is actually to my new measurement, and I'm very excited about that because now it will fit how I want it to. I am knitting it in, what is the name? We Are Knitters, in their Pima Cotton, which is, I had it in stash. It's the Sunset colorway, which is brown, but it's like a teal and orange brown wound together to make this nicer brown shade. And so, yeah, I'm just knitting down on, I actually finished, or I'm about to finish the first ball of yarn, and I think I will go on to the sleeves now because I've also been buying yarn for my previous measurements. So now I'm stressed that I don't have enough yarn for my correct size. So I'm gonna do the sleeves and then the body. I think it's gonna be totally fine. But I hope to bring this on my trip with me, and I'm very excited for it. The other modification I think I'm gonna make is in the pattern. It says to just bind off in the 3x1 rib, and I think I'm actually gonna go and do some 1x1 rib to match the neckline at the bottom. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's very, very soft. I really like the broken rib. I like this thicker raglan detail. So yeah, new sweater for me incoming. Next, I'll do this one, is a new sweater for my boyfriend. I haven't knit him a sweater since the one he got for Christmas. And I don't know, I just kind of got the urge to cast some stuff on for him. This is gonna be hard to show because until I split 4 sleeves on a sweater, I will literally cram all of the stitches onto the initial cable that I cast on with because I hate changing the cable over. So it makes it like ridiculously hard to show on a podcast episode, but this is again, the VERSAL sweater by ALBIONA McLaughlin, and I'm knitting the like men's version for him. It's here, maybe you can see the saddle shoulder detail better here. So it's like it's like part raglan, part saddle shoulder. For my boyfriend, I decided to do the crew neck option, but in the pattern it doesn't say to knit down the neckline, but I know how to do that, so I just decided to do that. And I'm knitting the 3rd size. This is again, from Stash, We Are Knitters, the recycled cotton in the eucalyptus colorway, which is mostly recycled cotton with some other fibers in it, and I think that's what makes it like heathered, and some of the colors are almost like tweedy. I've used this for my dad's sweater and I really like it, and I was also using it for my November jacket. The only thing I don't like is this pattern calls for short rows, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong. But on the right front, it's the same with this sweater. On the right front, my short rows look so messy, and on the left, they're like invisible. So I don't know, when I do a German short row heel, they look exactly the same on both sides. Like one is not messier than the other. So I don't know why. It really bugs me, but I'm trying not to let it bug me because honestly, I use the messy short rows to know which is the front and which is the back of this sweater. And now that I've been wearing it often, I don't even really think about the messy short rows anymore. But every time I come around to them on this work in progress, I have to stop and like try to smooth them out, or like, I don't know. So if anyone knows a way to fix messy German short rows after they've been knit, like, can I do something from the inside of the fabric, or I don't know. If anyone knows, please let me know. But yes, this is the VERSAL sweater for my boyfriend, and I'm very excited to steal it from him. I think I only have 2 more works in progress, and they are ones you have not seen for a while, and they are ones that were inspired by the weather that we had been having. So the first one, they're both blankets, but the first one is my Learn to Love STEEKS blanket by, I think, PURL SOHO. It's a free pattern. Sorry if you can hear my dog's paws scratching the floor. But it's a free pattern on Ravelry, or no, probably on their website. I think PURL SOHO doesn't do Ravelry downloads. Oh my gosh, it's all... Imagine if right now I found out that I had twisted this blanket. Heartbreak. Although, would that matter if you're steeking it? But, ta-da! Here it is. I am knitting it out of Lion Brand Touch of Linen in their like natural white colorway. And then my contrast is like the khaki green. So the top and the bottom are gonna have this, and then the casing for the steek is gonna have the green. So I did put a little stitch marker of where I picked it up from the last time I had worked on it. So this is where I was, and this is what I've done. And given that I measured it to be big enough for a queen size bed, I feel like that's quite a lot of progress. It's on 5mm needles. And yeah, I just kind of fell back in love with it. I've been doing it a lot for like nighttime knitting. It's just nice at the end of the day to kind of sit there and not really have to look at it. And my boyfriend and I have been watching Survivor. I had never seen it, and so we started it from the very first season, and I think we're on season like 14 now. And so it's really fun to see like how much progress I've made each Survivor episode. But yes, I'm really liking this knit. And finally, Lion Brand had this color back in stock, so I ordered more, and so I'll definitely be able to make the blanket the size that I want to. That's kind of one of the reasons I stalled. I was gonna rip it out because I just couldn't get any more of this yarn, but it finally restocked, and I may have gone crazy with how much I ordered, but it was on sale. It was a really good price. I know the dividend. No defending. This is the blanket that I'm making. Very excited for it. And then the next blanket that I'm making is in the same yarn. They're both Lion Brand Touch of Linen. And this one is my crochet blanket, which when I started, I was really enjoying the process of crochet, and for some reason right now, it's like, it's really not flowing for me well at all. So I have worked on it a bit, but I'm kind of letting it rest until the crochet feels a bit better, but that's pretty exciting. I think I also put a marker in here for, oh yeah, there. This little pink one. So that's where I was the last time I showed this on a podcast, and that's what I've done since. So not much, but again, it's like, it's, you know, it's a big blanket. It's gonna be wide enough to fit 2 people with like drape on either side. So yeah, I'm really excited to have this as a blanket, but let me just move my little stitch markers since we've talked about this. But yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. It's just crochet doesn't feel, it just doesn't flow very well. It doesn't flow very easily. It kind of feels like a chore. So I'm gonna wait until it feels a bit better. But yep, these are all different colors of the Lion Brand Touch of Linen, and I love it. So that is all of my knitting and crocheting. I do have acquisitions to show because it's been a while. And I have some super exciting acquisitions to show. So the first ones I will talk about is the yarns that my mother-in-law sent me for Easter. It was a surprise, and it was, I felt like crying. She also sent the most beautiful note with it, and it was just so lovely. And it was exactly, it was just, I just needed that extra little bit of love at the time that I got it. And so she sent me 3. Again, I've already used 1 for a ripple bralette, and these are from Five Wise Owls. She contacted this company and just said, like, gave my name and said, can you put together 3 of these based on her preferences? And the store owner, whose name I think is Julia, completely nailed it. So here's one. This is called Ichabod Crane. And I cannot wait to make socks with this in the fall. I think it's gonna be my first, like, excited for fall cast on. I think the colors are so beautiful. And so this is it's like a bamboo cotton elastic sock blend, 377 yards per 100 grams. I have tons of this sock yarn from a few different companies and I love it. And then this is the Walt Whitman colorway. And I am so excited to make socks with this. I think it might make stripes, which will be really cool. But it's like a tan, ice blue, and actually this green right here, that green is very similar to the green that I made the bralette out of. But I'm super excited. This almost reminds me of like the beach. Like the sand and the water, and so yeah, I'm really excited to make some socks with that. So Debbie, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you again, thank you. My next acquisition was sent to me by Martina for participating in a knit along that she was doing. Sorry about that. And I hope I didn't just flash my address, but she, as part of the giveaway, she was sending participants some stash yarn of hers that she wasn't really using or thought that they would like. And I didn't enter myself formally for the giveaway because I am friends with her and I wanted her to have yarn to spread to everyone else, but she sent it to me as a surprise, which was so nice. And part of it was this chapstick balm that she handmade with lavender in it, and it's so nice. I've been putting it on like before yoga. It's so beautiful. And then the yarn that she sent me is also so beautiful. So the first one is Drops Flora Unicolor, which is 65% wool and 35% alpaca in this green, this beautiful green colorway. It's a bit more yellow, like grassy green than it's showing up on camera, but she sent me 3 of these and I've never felt alpaca yarn before, so it feels very luxurious. And with these, I think I want to make myself the tinsel mitts by Andrea Mowry, I think. It's a mitten pattern that comes with a bunch of different variations, and one of them is like the convertible mitten where they can be fingerless mitts and then you kind of pull like a hood over your fingers and it's a mitt. And I think that would be so lovely in this soft yarn. So that's the first one she sent me. And then she also sent me Drops Fable Unicolor, which is a sock yarn in this gorgeous berry red. And I think I might knit these around Christmas time because they're such a beautiful like Christmas red color. And it's a pretty soft sock yarn. Let's see here, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. I just feel so lucky to be gifted these. And then she sent me a ton of the Drops Muscat, which is 100% mercerized cotton. And this like beautiful golden tan colorway. And I think I might knit my sister a hat with this because she sent me 4 balls of it. So I think that's enough. And then she sent me a really cool yarn. So this is from Borgo de Pazzi. It's hemp 100 made in Italy, and it's like 100% natural hemp, and it's like a lace weight. But she sent me 2 of these in the most beautiful brown colorway. And it's so much softer than I was expecting for 100% hemp fiber. It's really, really beautiful. And yeah, I really want to find the perfect thing to knit with this because I'm so intrigued by the fiber. So 50 grams is about 273 yards. If I held it double, I wonder if I could get a top, like a little tank top out of this. I think that would be really nice. Okay, the screen just went. What is happening? Okay, I don't know. The screen just went dark, but it says I'm still recording, so. And then she also sent me some cute stickers. Beautiful card. Some cute stickers. Like spring garden stickers. And then some flower seeds, which I just thought was so fun. And I think I'm gonna get like a flower box to put under our kitchen window outside. And I would love to put these in there. So thank you, Martina, so much. As always, you're just so thoughtful, so kind, so generous. I could not believe it when I opened this package and saw how much yarn was in it. I was blown away. And so I just thank you so much. I appreciate you and our friendship so much. So my last acquisition is actually one that I got for myself. It was a pre-order from Terrapin Fiberworks. It's gonna crinkle, I apologize. So she came out with a new base, which is organic cotton and linen, and I frothed over it because I love a cotton linen blend. And so I spent so much money on this order that I actually felt guilty afterwards, which I don't like to feel guilty about things that make me happy, but spending money can be hard. And they're so beautiful. This was from her, I think, Arise pre-order. So this is called Heart's Core in the Deer Creek fingering base, which is 60% organic cotton and 40% linen. And it's a beautiful, rusty red color. And I got all of these with the intention of making like t-shirts out of all of them. But I'm wondering if maybe I make a striped sweater. So I got this one, and then the other color that I got is called Blue Hubbard. Again, same base, and it's this beautiful, like, gray blue, denim blue color. And then the next one that I got is the Sage colorway, which really is a beautiful sage green. And so now I'm wondering if maybe I do some kind of stripe situation, like maybe I order one more color, like a lighter color, or maybe even the undyed color to stripe, because I think these are kind of too similar to have next to each other. But I think that could be really nice. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, I got these, and then I got three of her sock base. So I got the garlic colorway, which is, I think, one of my all-time favorite hand-dyed colors. It's just like a rainbow of soft colors. Look right there. It's so beautiful. So I got garlic, and then I got botanist, which is just so pretty. And then I got bouquet. So These will all probably become socks. I mean, now I know that I can make a ripple bralette out of one of these for myself, so my whole yarn stash has now changed from all sock yarns to sock or bralette. So that's pretty exciting. And that, my friends, wraps up this episode. I have no more to show. I was gonna do a like pattern crush section, but I didn't prepare. But actually I do know what I've been having a pattern crush on recently. And that is the, I'm pretty sure it's called the Arctic Lights sweater. Let me look. The Arctic Light sweater. I'll insert a photo, but I've been having a mega pattern crush on that recently. It's an all over beautiful cable sweater, and like 2 of the cables have bobbles in between, and it's so beautiful. And I think I want to make mine in this like raspberry pink yarn I have. Let me see. In like this color. I think it would be so beautiful. Oh, it smells like lavender. It smells so good. I keep lavender sachets all over my, oh my gosh, you guys, I had the biggest moth scare the other day, and I'm not even sure if it was just a scare or if it was actually an issue that I'm going to have. But I've never even seen a moth in the house. And I was like sitting here on the couch, the TV's over here, and there's a wall behind the TV. And all of a sudden, a fat moth, huge, biggest moth I've ever seen in my life, I think, fluttered up behind the TV. Here's the TV, here is my yarn. So I immediately sprayed everything with this like lavender water that I made. And I'm just praying, hoping, wishing, wanting it to have not done anything nasty to my yarn. But that happened the other day, and I am still mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually recovering from it. Not to be dramatic. But yes, the Arctic Light sweater. I have a huge pattern crush on it right now. And I would love to do an all over cable sweater. But yes, my friends, that is all. I'm glad to be back. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I know my podcasts have been few and far between, but such is life, I suppose, sometimes. I hope that you're all doing really, really well. I hope that you're working on something that makes you happy, and I hope that you're enjoying the weather wherever you are. And I will be back when I have more to talk about. Bye.